Next is going to be our brine valve assembly. To remove the brine valve assembly, pretty simple. We want to pull this peg or pin out. This is a John Guest fitting, so we push that little gray lip in while we're pulling out on the hose, and that's how we release it. To put the hose back in, we just push it back in and put your clip back in. But right now we want that off. Then there are two screws, one on the top, one on the bottom. Starting with the one on the bottom, we want to remove this brine valve assembly. The reason why we replace a brine valve assembly is because it is not drawing salt water out of the salt tank properly, or not putting it back in properly. That's what this brine valve assembly is for. It's to suck salt water into the water softener, to recharge the water softener, and also to put water back in the salt tank in order that it'll have a good brine for the next rinse. What ends up happening with these older parts is this stem that pushes all the way through gets stuck. You see, the way that this draws brine is by pushing this in. When we push it in, it opens this valve up to draw brine. This wheel has little fingers on it, and these fingers will come when it's in a backwash cycle, will come and will push this in and just sit there for a minute in order to draw brine, sometimes 30 minutes. It also puts water back in your salt tank on the last cycle, pushing it in yet again to put water back in the salt tank. This will get stuck. So we have new brine valve assemblies that are pretty cool. They have a sleeve now. You'll notice that this pin does not go all the way through, so it can't get corroded and stuck. It has a sleeve that pushes it through. This one obviously comes all the way out, and that is what gets stuck and will not allow this to release and operate the way you want it to, so we replace it with a new one. To put it back on, real simple. Just gonna hold it in that place. You're gonna put the two screws on. It'll come with a little O-ring. So you make sure your O-ring is on. And that new part, you just make sure this is in home position and just screw that back on and put your hose back on. So simple. And now your system is operating better. Okay.